hottest tower,
Yeah.
right? This is our version of a no spin zone, except for Wax's little swirl. Right? But we're just bringing you our honest assessment of what we're seeing in the real estate market. No spin on it. We're just going to come straight out and tell you our thoughts, opinions, with no hidden agendas or.
It used to be that all of the spectacular information we gave people was plenty, but guess what? There are these little gremlins called algorithms, right? And if the whole world is going to hear the great information that we have, not even the whole world, a little bit of the world, it would help us significantly if you hit the like button. Better yet, if you subscribed. Right, I hear some of these people who say, if you don't subscribe, I'm going to come find you. We don't do any of that stuff, but it would really help us out a lot. So
right.
hit the notification button, the subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, don't be selfish. If you're getting value out of these things, share it with those people. Let them know about it, and let us know that we're doing a good job by liking the video and subscribing and making sure that you get notified as we push these new ones out, that you'll know that there's more information out there that we're providing. So,
well, Keith Alba, what is everybody in Colorado screaming about right now?
Everybody got a nice little notice from their county assessor here recently. You know, the county assessor is required to send out these notices by the 1st of May every year. And of course, we're talking about property assessment values.
That's right, that's right.
Which is a big factor of property taxes.
That's right, they're tied to each other. Right.
Everybody got notice from their county assessors. It says, hey, we have to reevaluate or reassess your property value every 2 years, and we've just come up on that 2-year period, right? And so
we're seeing some people as low as 30-35% increases over the last assessment period, and some people as high as 60%, like Keith Alba here.
I was right there in that number, yep, right at just under 60%, and my property assessment value went up that amount. So.
And this impacts your property taxes. It's a longer discussion on how. There's some mechanics there. There's an equation, but this is the first part of the equation. And if your house is worth more, ultimately your tax bill will be more. We wanted to talk a little bit, first of all, about this kind of perfect storm of what happened and why, particularly this year, it may be worth you appealing these numbers.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest piece right there, right? You do not have to accept the property evaluation or assessment that you got from that. You have the right and the authority to be able to challenge that value by submitting an appeal.
And you know what? These assessors, they want to get it right. They want to get it right, but they're doing these valuations from the outside. They don't see properties. They don't have the capacity to come look at them. They have no idea what the condition of your house is, and the data from which they are legally required to pull and interpret that value is, let's see, July,
Well,
January.
it depends on the county, right?
On the
Each county is doing it a little bit different, but in every county it ends at the end of June of 2022.
The hottest market since the dawn of time.
And they're looking back between 18 and 24 months for the majority of the counties in the Denver metro area.
They're required to use that data.
So if it's a 2-year period of the study, that's July 1 of 2020 through the end of June of 2022, which, as Rock said, is the hottest real estate market that we have seen in the Denver metro area.
Hunger Games.
Ever, right?
Appraisal guarantees.
Right.
100,000 above.
Yeah. 10, 15 offers, waiving inspection rates, guaranteeing that they're paying their purchase price regardless of what the appraiser said. So that study period that they're looking at was massive appreciation for you as a homeowner that's in there, and the county's saying, hey, I'm sorry, but this is what our data is showing.
Now, there are things that can be done, and here's a great example of it. Most of the people, not all, but the majority of properties that go on the market and sell, people do some spiffing up of the property before they put it on the market. They paint it, they put some carpet in, maybe they've updated some, the roof, maybe they put, but your house, if it's like my house, that you've been just living in, right? It may not be in that same level of show-ready state.
Sure.
That the majority of houses that sell on the open market are. So that right there, the data they're using, if your house is not in as stellar, spiffed up condition as that, you've got an argument to make. And these assessors want to get it right. If you give them real data in the area that's close of similar houses, and you can show, look, I haven't updated this kitchen since 1902, they will, the appeal itself triggers an automatic review by a staff appraiser, and about a third of them are successful. So this is worth doing.
Yeah, and just know that there's timelines that are associated with this appeal process, right? So the county had to send out those notice of values as of May 1st, or by May 1st. They were required to send those out to everybody.
You should get them now, read
You should
them.
be getting it, look at it, and make sure that you're comfortable with what they're saying your property is worth. And then in all counties, you have until June 8th, my understanding, to file your appeal. Right? Some counties, it's as easy as just checking the little box on that card and sending it back and saying, hey, I'm appealing this, and then that'll go to the appraiser's desk, and they have to look at it again and start pulling specific comparable sales for your property. Or you can submit some documentation along with that appeal and says, here's why I'm basing my value or my appeal off of, I'm thinking you're too high, and this is why. These are the houses that are within my neighborhood. This is a model match to my house. This is the value that sold at.
And it was fully updated, and mine isn't.
Right.
Right.
But just know that, again, it's got to be adjusted to that end of June period of 2022. So if you're pulling a comparable sale from December of 2020, right, they're going to add some time value on that period to cover all of 21 and up to the end of June of 22.
So you don't just look at the lowest price and send it to them. That lowest price, you have to imagine what would that property have been worth on June 30th, of 2022.
Right.
And folks, we can help you with this. We've been doing dozens of these where we pull the data from the time range that there are and get you hooked up with the websites where the appeal process is. So if you want to talk about it, or if you have questions about it, we can assist you with that. And that is the first appeal. Most counties also have some additional appeal processes after that if that first appeal doesn't work. Right, so we can help you with that as well.
Absolutely. Every county turns in a little bit different after that, but there is, just because you send in the appeal and let's say they deny the appeal, that's not the final,
That's
right?
not the end of
You
it.
can then take it to a different additional step and further go down that path. The other piece of advice I would give you is, as Roxanne was saying, the assessors want to get this right. They want it to be accurate. They want it to be fair. And I understand it's an emotional number, dealing with the large values jumps and potentially large tax increases, but honey attracts more than vinegar, sort of a thing.
Be
right?
nice to these people.
Be nice to them. They're just doing their job, and if they have the ability and can back it up with data to show that they did overestimate your value, they'll bring it down and they'll do it, right? And
They want to do it.
you want them on your side, not necessarily a contentious piece. And we can do that with having direct conversations with data of your own. And as Rox said, we're here to help and get you that information so that you're prepared to have these conversations and be able to go in and have an intellectual dialogue with the people that you talk with.
I used to be called the honey badger by my team because they listened to me call up these poor bureaucrats, and it's just, I would get so frustrated and I would have a hard time hiding that in my voice. We'll say it that way. I potty trained myself a few years ago to start making a point when I call somebody who is going to give me information I don't want to have, and I just know I'm going to grow a unibrow, my teeth are going to get longer. I call them up and I tell them a joke. I get them laughing, it gets me laughing, and then I visualize them sitting at a desk with a picture of their family and a little plant and a little jar with their pens in it, and remind myself these folks are doing a job. And if their job is not to irritate or us, their job is to do as good of interpretation as they can of this data, and they want to help us.
Said another way, they get no bonuses off of the tax increases, or there's no financial incentive to them to be able to keep the value that they sent out in that term, that initial notice of value. So they want to do right. They will do right if you give them the proper information and able to back it up with your own data.
Yeah.
So let us know how we can help. We're definitely here to do it. We've been doing it, as Rox said, for multiple people already.
Since dirt was young. Yeah.
So
Thank
take
you.
care. We'll see you in the next one.